Thank you for tuning in to Abundant Moments. I remember years ago hearing a story about a man who he worked at midnights. And so he would always have to walk home late at night and it was totally dark and his house was like kitty corner from where he worked. But because there was a cemetery there, he always walked completely around the block. And it took him about 15 minutes when normally it would be about 5 minutes to get home. But he always did this because he was too afraid to go through the cemetery. Well, one night he comes out from work and he's really tired and he looks and there's a full moon and he can see really clear to walk through the cemetery. So he thought, well, you know what? I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to walk through that cemetery. And he did. And he got home and he realized, wow, that was a lot faster than if I would have walked all the way around. So because of that, he started walking through the cemetery every night. Weeks go by and one night he's walking through the cemetery. It's a little bit dark. The moon isn't as full and he can't really see as well. And they had dug a grave the day before. And he stepped right over into that grave and went down. Must have been in Michigan because it was 6 feet. In Tennessee, they just bury him 4. But he went down about 6 feet into that grave. And of course, it scared him. He's trying his best to climb and trying to get out of that grave and he can't get out. And after about 10 minutes, he didn't know it, but there was a drunk that had stumbled in that same grave. And he'd been watching him that whole time and he hadn't seen him because, of course, it was dark. And after about 10 minutes of him trying to climb and claw his way out of that grave, that drunk said to him, "You can't get out of here." But he did. That motivation from being scared and hearing a voice saying, "You can't get out of here," he did. I came by today to motivate you, to get out of whatever it is that you're in that you shouldn't be in. Sometimes we get into depression, oppression. Sometimes we get into fear. Sometimes we get into dread and we just get into just going through life, just existing and not enjoying life. And Jesus came that we would have life more abundantly, that we would enjoy our life each and every day, no matter what that day holds. God wants us to have peace and to have joy and to enjoy the journey. Because where you're at today, you're not going to always be. But we need to realize that we are headed somewhere else and we need to stay motivated. That drunk motivated that guy to get out of that grave and he got out. So I came by today to motivate you. If you're in a funk today, as they say, if you're just, going through life, if you're just holding on, waiting for, no, I came by to motivate you. Get out, get out. Do what you're supposed to do. Get out of the depression, get out of the oppression, and begin to thank God for all of his blessings. Begin to allow his peace and his joy to flood your heart, your mind, and your spirit, and get out of that dread, get out of that fear, and move over into faith and hope. And you'll see, just like that man saw, he got out. You'll see when you get out, it's a whole lot better. Thank you for tuning in.